how are you doing? Welcome to Movers and Shakers once again, like never before. We are here again, and today we have another special and exciting guest. For the Makererians who are out there, this is another one. In simple terms, I would say, Makerere, gather. Now, last time there is this song that thrilled us, that was trending everywhere. Dangote. So now we want to dive into the social life of this personality. Who is he? What is his name? And as usual, I have my hot panel as usual. So we're going to take this opportunity to introduce the panel. Then our guest will introduce himself last. I'm going to begin with you. Joey.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I go by the name Stiobe Timothy, aka Buna. So happy to be here. Shakers and Movers. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Wonderful.
Amazing. My name is JJ and I'm the man from Anale.
Let's continue.
James Ubiondo, Shakers and Movers. Jimuna Masaka.
A very good reminder, this is Shakers and Movers.
America's most wanted.
There is a lot of fun here, there is a lot of excitement here, so make sure that you go down and subscribe. After subscribing, make sure that you comment. After commenting, make sure that you share the link to your family member, to your relative, to each and every person. Don't forget your girlfriend and your boyfriend. Make sure that you supply the link, make sure that you comment. We are in another beautiful place called Bativa Restaurant, just behind Ham Towers in Wandegea. Guys, I just can't explain how lit this place is. It is very good for parties, it is very good for evening drinking, it is very good for any kind of vibe. They have all the services at point. So, Bativa, thank you so very much for the accommodation. Now, let's get rolling to what has brought us today. Today in the building, we have ALIONZI LAWRENCE Dangote. I won't say former because it would sound bad, but I would say a presidential aspirant for Makerere good president. And he took the world by fame when he came out and stood up, and he was one of the threatening competitors in this race, if not the best. So I'm going to have a conversation with him plus my panel. At this point in time, allow me to give the microphone to him. You're most welcome, sir.
Well, thank you so much. I think we're at the phase of introducing ourselves.
Yeah.
My name is ALIONZI LAWRENCE, but you commonly call me Dangote.
Yeah.
I'm an electrical engineering student.
Yeah.
Year 4 now, a very old man at the university.
Yeah.
Yes, I am still a young presidential aspirant.
Yeah.
But tonight, I don't think it's about the politics.
Yeah.
It's exclusive for me to be on the Shakers and Movers.
Yeah.
And maybe just for the record, the Shakers and Movers didn't find me, I found them. I will explain that more later on, but they have told me that the show is sponsored by this beautiful restaurant called Bativa Restaurant. It's a nice place, but it's easy to find, just behind Ham Towers. So for me, it's a place, and I can already tell it's going to be a nice one.
So, before my co-hosts begin with the question, allow me to come first. Who is ALIONZI LAWRENCE Dangote? To any person who may have heard you for the first time, but I doubt there are really few. So, who is ALIONZI LAWRENCE Dangote in your own description?
Well, the question is very big.
I
probably could describe myself in an entire book. But like I did say, I think I am very proud. The best description I can give myself is that I'm an electrical engineering student.
Yeah.
But I am also a student leader. Yeah, I am an enthusiast of social affairs, and that for me drags me into the leadership. And yeah, I am just a man of the people.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
What is enthusiasm?
Enthusiasm.
Let us use
The word is so big.
So it has no problem. It has no problem. So enthusiasm is a very big word from Namasaka like you, but please, for the love of the show.
Excuse me. Me also, when I hear the name Dangote, that name shakes me.
Yeah.
The first time I heard the name Dangote, I said I'm going to be on this campaign. I'm an opportunist. I thought I'm going to get money from Dangote. Because the Dangote I know is a Nigerian,
A rich guy.
rich guy. I heard that he's worth $14 billion. I said, this.
All over social media.
And you know, Makerere is a big university.
Yes.
I thought Dangote's son
Yeah.
is at Makerere. University.
Before, let me even cut you short. So, ALIONZI Dangote, where do you really come from? What is your heritage? Because besides Makere, where do you come from? What is your home place?
Yes, I come from Arua City, now a city.
Wow,
Even Masaka is a city.
Yes.
We know Masaka is a city.
Even
We know Masaka is a city. But
Masaka
a very big city.
it wants to be a country, by the way.
Yes. So from Aivu East constituency, that is the eastern part of the city. We border the DRC directly.
Wow.
Yes, it's a small place, a small
Village?
They are called the Diofe. Those who know the place. know
Diofe.
that. Yes.
Yeah. So this is where you come from.
That is where I have come from. That's where I've lived most of my adult life, and that is where I basically stayed there until education had to bring me to another place.
So how do you come? How about your parents? How many are you in the family?
Well, I'm a fourth born
Yeah.
to 6 children.
Yes.
Yes, I am. Yes, I have my mother. My dad passed on when I was in senior one. I think I have. For a boy, it's not easy to live like that. Every day reminds you of that fact, because there are days you crave to have maybe a father. But yes, I am very proud if maybe my mom gets the chance to watch this. I want mom to know that you're not deficient.
Yeah.
You have been a father and a mother, and I couldn't have been more proud and ask for any better mother than you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So where do you go to school and how do you start school?
Well, I went to P1. That was a Defe Boys Primary School, and I am glad that I never went to nursery. I still believe that nursery.
You never went to nursery?
Yes.
Why?
I am convinced that nursery is to a large extent wastage of time and
not-
resources. The nursery education from the onset has always been, from where I come from, is a prestigious thing.
Oh,
So
for that
for
well
you-
to do.
Yes.
For you,
well
you
to
didn't
be.
graduate.
You didn't graduate.
I didn't graduate. No, I didn't
graduate.
That they bring for you bread.
So I didn't graduate. I went to Defe Boys Primary School. 7 years. I spent all the years there.
Okay.
And there were even classes I had to skip, and I must admit that in primary I was not a very good kid. And I was this one. They will send us to school, but we had where we would go. We'll just come and eat food, then go back to where we are coming from.
So you could not report to school?
Yes, and actually, P1 they promoted 50 people. I was the 50th to be promoted, and then P2 I failed. But since my friends went ahead, I had to go ahead.
You just followed?
Yeah, the school was a government school. The numbers were big. There was no serious follow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went and registered that I was from another school. I went to P3, but I passed P3 anyway. The same thing happened in P5. I still went to P6.
And like that, you found yourself in high school.
Yeah, for me, really, education became a serious thing in P7. Something happened and it triggered, really. And it's the first time that I could actually pass was in P7. And I think we did a paper. I was the only one who failed. First did the paper, and in that paper, it was math. I think I got 13, somebody got 12. So I was like, there's someone who is worse than me. So I didn't really care about that. But then the next one, I was 12%. This person was 59. So the teacher gave me properly. He roasted me in the entire class for about 30 minutes. That triggered something. And since then, by the time we are going in to do PLE, I actually matched the second best, and almost the entire school could not believe.
Whoa.
So somebody comes up at that point. I think dad was already sick of the disease he succumbed to. So the family was doing badly off. So I was like, within P7 I decided that this might be my last level, but if it is to be, let it be the best level.
So how do you say it's your last level?
No,
Basing on the
yeah,
condition at home.
dad had become very sick, so things had become really
He was
bad.
the only breadwinner at home?
True, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, mom just had to, man up or something after he passed on.
Yes.
But otherwise, now, at that time, I knew that even the poorest secondary schools around, even the government ones were paying up to 170. Even the family could not get that because the basic needs were still a problem. So I just told God, let me just pass very well, sit with my PLE at home. So when somebody comes, why did you drop out? I tell them I dropped out in first grade.
Wow.
So I tell them so, and since then it has been my principle. So even when future seems so unclear, I'm like, the present must be so good that I am good even if this is my last stage.
This is very, very
True,
good.
and since then I have accumulated it, even the principle to live in life. In that, since we can die anytime, let today be good enough for me.
So how do you pop into high school?
No, someone shows up. Someone shows up. I think it's mysterious. I have had 3 mysteries in my life. One of them is that one. It's really mysterious. Somebody shows up, and so he offers to pay. But he offers only to pay in the seminary. So I go into St. Peter and Paul Seminary.
Who was that person?
He is he's a paternal uncle of mine.
No.
Yeah, and until now. And if he dares to watch this, I wish to thank him every single opportunity I get.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout outs to him. Huge one.
Huge.
Yeah, so I go into the seminary. I was a good seminarian.
So you go into the seminary without any wish of becoming a priest, but following
no,
the principle of
during P7, I made friends with the priests at my parish. So the urge was there, and since he mentioned it, I didn't hesitate to go in. I go, and I was a good seminarian. I didn't receive any suspension.
Was any of your parents staunch Catholics?
They are. The entire family is.
Yes, of course.
This is not your air.
The entire family is. It was a good time. The seminary has actually the who now you're seeing as Dangote was basically built in the seminary.
Wow.
The debating, the leadership. Because when I first became a leader, I was a head prefect when I was in senior 3.
Senior
Senior 3
3.
head prefect.
Amazing.
Are those boys?
This is great.
True, it was wonderful. I was exposed to very mature situations and
Senior 3. How come that
True.
you became a head prefect in senior 3?
So actually there was a priest who was my friend. He said if I'm not the head prefect, he's leaving the seminary.
That was
Okay.
That was political.
No, but senior 3.
No, but the leadership in the seminary isn't that somebody vouches for you.
By the way, and when they say you cannot say
You
no,
cannot challenge
you
it.
cannot challenge it.
Yeah. So I became a good student. For the first time. Actually, the first term report card was when I was number 1 in class for the first time in my life.
Oh.
And I remember senior 1 first
Senior
term.
1.
When I received the report card, I went back to church. I found myself there. I have never been to church alone. I usually go on Sundays. But that time I found myself in church, and it was something. So the seminar really built, and there was self-realization completely. Yeah. So even at the end, I emerged top of my class with 16 aggregates.
16. That's senior 4.
Senior 4. So when senior 4 is done, I get another mystery happens. Now I'm like, A-level is rather expensive. So I'm like, even God, this is enough. I'm thankful for this level. But then God tells me, I'm not done with you. So I get a full bursary to study from Allied of Africa and Amiliango.
Wow.
Again, thanks to Olan,
So who is
the main
who is
campus. That
It
is
was a bursary
a
given by
full
the school.
bursary given by the school.
Wow.
So I go in to study
So-
PCM.
from Alua.
Yes, from
To
Arua.
Kampala.
Yes, now I come to Kampala for the first time.
You and Masakawa, man.
And I told people that I want to come alone. I don't want to come to Kampala alone.
Yeah.
I boarded the bus alone. Just that when the bus drops at the bus park, you feel abandoned.
Yeah,
You
you just feel like
in the bus, people are speaking the local language.
Yeah.
Things okay. Then you enter the bus park. Even those who look like you don't speak your language. So you feel so abandoned. But then I had to find my way to Mukono, to Seta. I went to the school. I was there for 2 years. I did my PCM and did my very best. I had 20 points.
Woo!
In senior 6.
Man.
Yeah, so then that's how I find myself at Makerere University.
Wait a minute. 20 out of 20 or 20 out of 25?
No, 20 out of 20.
So you get into Makerere University on government.
I get on government sponsorship.
This is mighty.
Okay, you know when I was
You see how James is looking.
You guys were from a seminary.
True,
So
true.
you come to Namibia.
to Namibia,
Yeah.
which is
Mixed
mixed
school.
school.
And
bigger
my
seminarian.
primary school was also a single school.
Was also
Oh,
yes.
Your first time in a mixed school.
Yeah, it was my
and
first time in
it
a
is
mixed school.
from,
Yeah.
Yes.
from a different area.
Let
From
us
a
glad
different
that
area.
So the
yeah,
vibe is in
exactly.
Kampala because for us we have been in Kampala.
No, no. You just
Been in
came
Kampala.
No.
Let me tell you. For
No.
me,
You just came from us. Amali, tell us. So
Yes.
what is your experience with
And
in
those
high
girls at Colombo.
No, actually, what happened was now there's an incident which will just describe my life in high school. briefly.
yes.
In senior six, second term, one of the ladies in my class was a BCM student.
Yeah.
She
So
asked
we're
me
doing combination?
PCM. So she asked me, were you here in senior 5? That means we're in the same class, but she didn't even know me. So for me, when I went, of course, I was not into the ladies. The environment was new, and I had come with this mentality that it was just about
Studies.
the studies. So
So
I
you
really,
are bookworm.
the only thing I did in A-level was really read books.
Did you join the debate again?
No, the school did not have a very profound debate club. They only organized one debate, but I participated.
allow me
Mm.
to shake hands with you because I also did PCM and I survived with 15 points. That's so great. Hey.
It's good.
Well, it's good. Science students, we are so, I don't know how we are taking on the politics in Makerere, but we are so great that we are actually, I did art. So. I did.
So now Namilyango moves on smoothly.
Yes.
You didn't find any issues with it. You just moved on smoothly.
True, Namilyango, the school is like the deputy teacher in terms of academics life. It's a working camp.
Yeah, it's working.
It's a working camp.
Mm.
It's not a place of fantasy and not a very luxurious
Even
place.
at the prom
Let me
party.
tell you,
Even at the prom
even if
party.
it's
No, I actually
it's
missed
a
prom. During prom, I ran away when I was here at Makerere.
Why did you miss prom?
Why
Why
did
did you
you?
miss prom?
Honestly, at that time, maybe I hold a different view now. But at that time, I just didn't see myself attending the prom.
I
Like,
think why you dodged the prom.
I know there is
Since
a prom
Dangote
there.
was in a seminary,
eh,
maybe he wanted to be a father.
It was like
Secondly, prom date.
But let me tell you, there is this thing
A suit.
in high school, actually, A level, even if you're humble at what extent, there is a guy.
Yeah.
There are those girls,
Those
and
girls will
and-
come.
And remember, he
you
was
are a bright student. You can't. You
They'll
can't.
come in disguise of
they will make
discussion.
sure.
They'll
Yeah.
make sure they
Sure
come
that-
close.
And
You
remember,
come
he
close
was
to
an
you.
A product.
Uh-huh.
So those girls.
And there are
You
some
can't
girls who know
survive.
that she's from a seminary. They will provoke you.
So
and actually, my class didn't know that I was from the seminary,
You didn't tell
and
them.
I was not this prominent figure in the class.
like
And
you were,
okay, I was not the best in my class, so I will not make headlines academically.
Yeah.
So I will say I was not known, even if there are those girls who will do okwetega.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I would be their choice. You get it?
Yeah.
I would be. I didn't think I were their choice.
Yeah,
if that English.
they,
you know.
they were like
I was absolutely lucky.
yeah. So what has been your experience in Kampala?
No.
You know I am particularly curious about the change of culture. The change of culture and you know you're from this environment and now you're in this environment. How did you fall in and yeah.
The moment you left Arua, it wasn't a city.
Yeah, it wasn't the city.
Even to Kampala.
True, and cross
Yes.
cross the Nile twice.
What has been your experience?
I don't think moving from Arua to Kampala is a drastic change in culture. I think over time these cultures have diffused in each other. I didn't find a very huge difference. And besides, I have been here now for some time to lose a clear grasp of the clear cut difference between that culture and this
And
one.
this one and this one.
But yeah, Kampala has been ready for studies.
Yeah.
And I have gone back for every holiday.
You've gone back every holiday.
I've gone back for every holiday.
Yeah.
So I simply come, but just that now campus, other things start to keep you within,
Yeah.
and like that. But yeah, it's been good.
So you didn't have any issues here with people speaking another different language, with the way people behave in different ways. In
Teachers
here.
teaching with
Teachers
Luganda
teaching with
and you
Luganda.
don't
By the
get
way,
it
how
and
far did
something
you go
like that.
with Luganda?
I had actually I had been very reluctant to learn Luganda,
Yeah.
but the last 2 months some things happened, and I am now learning Luganda. I'm making deliberate efforts to
making
learn
deliberate
Luganda.
efforts to learn Luganda.
I am learning
First
Luganda
introduce
now.
yourself in Luganda.
No, you can't.
Actually,
I am done.
what What positivity is
No,
that?
I can't. But now
Yeah.
in cinema, at least I because the cleaners, the cleaners and the other
Yes.
non-academic staff within the hall are my friends. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
So at least I speak Luganda, but I can't
A
say it
little
on
bit, a
camera.
little bit.
I don't have the confidence to say the Luganda I have on camera yet.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's hope that probably by the time this semester ends,
Yeah,
I can
you-
now introduce myself on camera and in Luganda.
That's nice.
Anyway,
You
you
know
come from
sing in Luganda.
To sing in Luganda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
the
culture songs are in Luganda.
yeah,
And you are
true.
staunch
True,
culture member of
true.
Nsibirwa.
Of
So
Nsibirwa,
the songs, you know.
True. Music. I love music. In all level, I did music.
Hey, wow, I also
Yeah,
did music.
I did music.
That's nice.
So the solfa notations, the do re mi fa sol la tis, I did them.
here in
So,
the locals.
so in the music language, we said that music is a universal language.
Yeah.
You don't really have to know the language
Yeah.
to rhyme with the music.
Yeah.
So provided it's good music, you just understand, and the culture songs communicate.
Yeah.
So I just sing them without knowing what they are.
Yeah.
But it's like
But the
I get a
meaning.
feel. I get a
Which
feel of
Luganda
what the
song
songs.
do you know?
Hey, which
No,
Luganda song?
But I know the culture songs of Hall.
Nah, I know the culture songs of them will not subvert our camera.
Absolutely
But
not.
these ones that have been played on radio that have been released. Okay, which one do you know? Luganda song. That has traded even for this year.
Okay. I think I think the question we should be asking here is what is your kind of music?
No, he may say Nigerian. No, he may say
I know
Nigerian.
he loves this song.
No, all the songs of Bobby Wine.
Yes.
All the songs of Bobby
No,
Wine.
even
Oh,
not there.
Bobby
Yeah,
Wine.
not there. We don't
Yeah.
want there because that is
No,
making it
but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm actually buying time to remember the name of the song. But
Just
the-
tell me the artist.
but there's a song of Palazzo.
Malamo.
Eh?
Malamo.
No, not Malamo.
Which one?
But there's a song of
Okay, wait, just say a line. I'll be able
You can't say the line.
Fire baby.
Eh?
You know Fire Baby?
I know Fire Baby.
You know
I
she-
The boy is on Palacio, you boys.
He knows the ladies.
Now these Masaka boys.
I know even the gents. I am into music, so I know a couple of artists.
A couple of artists,
But
yeah.
you must listen to outside music.
I listen to, like I said, good music is good music.
Yeah,
good music.
Now, like even if you just like Uganda music, you can't resist Azawi on her current
Wow.
For real.
You can't
For real,
resist
for
Fik
real.
Famiega. And that Maje song and
I'm
stuff
telling
like
you.
that. But I feel like we must give credit where it's due.
Yeah.
In Africa, the biggest music industry is
Yeah.
that of Nigeria and
Yeah.
perhaps Ghana.
Very
Yeah.
true.
And they make headlines. So most of my music, if you got my playlist, most of it will be from there. I remember the last
Fireboy
time
DML.
you guys met, you probably had when you came
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
music
yeah.
night.
It was
Okay, it's so
Nigeria.
unfortunate that my wish has not been executed on the show. But
And it's not going to be executed.
Let's continue. So now you enter into Makerere. So what's now? Let's come to academics. You're doing electrical engineering. How did your parents receive the fact that now you are a government student? Because now, being a government student, for us, people like us, the LC person should know. We shall look for the biggest gossiper of the village and tell that person that so and so's son has got on government. So what was your
Was there
experience?
a party?
Was there a party?
Just like my nature, my family is low key. There was no party. There was really no party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously we had a prayer to
Yeah,
thank
you were
God,
very
and we
happy.
always do every time any member of the family makes that small progress.
Yeah.
Maybe one of my sisters, our last born is now in P7.
Yeah.
So even when she's going to successfully pass P7,
Yeah.
I believe there'll be a prayer. That's how the family does it.
Yeah.
But obviously it was great news.
Yes.
It was like I don't think unless he was so faithful and prophetic, I don't think my father ever imagined that how things are turned out, that
Yeah.
one of his kids will actually come to Makerere, more so
Yeah.
on government and maybe for a course as electrical
Electrical
engineering.
engineer.
So obviously it was great news, but
Yeah.
all we did was we prayed,
Yeah.
we thanked God for it. But it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
That is really, really massive. But I remember I once saw in your status and you wrote that electrical engineering chose you. I remember reading that on your status. And I think the good thing and the great thing about that is you love what you're doing.
True,
you
absolutely.
you really love what you're doing. And the moral lesson here is man, we need to thank God. We need to really thank God. I once saw a meme, and it was saying we act like drug dealers, but we don't joke with God.
Absolutely.
We act like drug dealers, but we don't joke with God. Yeah. So every time a big thing happens to you, every time you wake up in the morning, man, thank God. Thank God, and thank God.
So electrical engineering as a course, how has it gone down with you? Besides you being a witty guy, besides you being, how has the course gone down, and how have you found it with your classmates and all that?
Amazing. When you get 20 points without clarity of what you exactly want to do, okay, you just want to be an engineer, but you do not have the exactitude of what you want to do. A lot of things, it's like a lot of things are on your plate. Like, of course, by the time we were applying for government sponsorship, there wasn't. We didn't know what we had attained. But I remember coming to Makerere consulting with colleagues. So you go and speak to a civil engineering student, tell you civil engineering is the best. You go to electrical engineering is the best. You go to petroleum is hot cake and stuff like that. But I feel like it was a personal decision. So I have embraced the course with all its weight and back. But it's interesting. It's an interest. If there's anybody out there who wishes to be an electrical engineer, it is amazing. It is amazing, and it's not as stressing as it sounds. Actually, it's not as stressing as it sounds. I think it has been good. It has been good.
Now, okay, I think we should dive into the story that most of the people are most interested in, and I think we all know have more airplay and joy in here. So now, second semester comes. We are supposed to choose leaders. Leaders come. It is a weekend. I remember it was a weekend just there at home. Only to see that a song is reeling everywhere. A song called Dangote is reeling everywhere. I think the song Dangote went viral more than the person himself. So, how do you start your political career at Makerere?
At Makerere, when I came to Makerere, I was attached to Nsibirwa Hall. So I am a very proud statesman. Yes, a North Koto, Ensibiro, Enkrumo, Ra, Cha. So now I come into this chat, what these guys are just saying, into the culture. And then when most people interface with it, especially the morning joggings, the compulsory jogging, singing the culture song, seems like torture to them. So they a bit resent it. But then when you go beyond the surface, beyond the words or how people talk of it, actually it's not only interesting, but two things come with that culture. One, the culture at Hall bonds the students at Hall level. So the few things left on the student side at Makerere are because students have fought for them. And they're fought for them because they're united. And they're united because of that culture. And then secondly, that culture buries in you a certain level of bravery. Get for me people in the political space that you admire, that stand out. During that time, they're probably heads of the culture songs. The early two meaners. Maybe not a lot of people have may conform to what I said earlier on, but even the Norbert Maus, the Botters themselves, and then the keepers also right here in Makerere, these people are upheld that culture. So it's like when you go on the morning joggings and then you go on the road and you stop the cars and you make these rounds. It's like it comes with a certain level of bravery. And burying yourself into the community that you actually stay with.
So for you, accepted it.
So I love the whole. I accepted it.
The love.
I don't. Yes, it has a few other challenging aspects that we should over time try to correct. But in essence, and the greater bit is that that culture at Hall is good. We can modify it, we can improve it, we can make it better, we can add new things, but we should uphold the culture at Hall. So I love the culture. I fall in love with the Hall. That's why I have not served anywhere except Hall.
So you've been in Hall leader.
Apart from my cultural institution. So I've served at Hall. So year one I was at observing end. Then in year two I ran for speaker. And with due respect, I raced against a year 4 student of medicine.
Wow.
Yes, with all due respect to him.
And you gave him a bloody nose?
I wouldn't say bloody nose since I'm on camera, but it was a landslide victory on my part. But it was a good election.
Wow.
And and the election and the term of office set ground. I think within the whole, that was the time the name Dangote came up. At least by the time my term of office was ending, everybody in Sibira and Nkrumah knew, even if they had not sat on a table, that there was a Dangote at this corner of the hall.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So talking about Makerere, what has been your most? I want you to share with us your most challenging and your funniest moment at Makerere.
Funny, something that is not exactly funny happened on the very first days. We're doing orientation. And since investors had come to Makerere before, I felt like I had known this place, maybe a little more than the other freshers and stuff. And I was not staying in hall exactly. I was staying with some year 3s and year 4s in Chikoni. So I come for this second day of orientation that said that. Then the lady who was moderating the orientation session, it was raining, so I come late. So I knock on the door and she opens. Well, as soon as she opens the door, it's that new conference hall, if you know that hall, where the people sit. So when you enter, everybody sees that you enter. So I enter, everybody turns, plus even the principal who was sitting on the high table turned to look at me. And just as I step in, like 2 steps into the room, the lady puts the microphone on me and she's like, "Why are you late?" Are you getting it? It's my first time to come for orientation. I missed the first orientation. I don't know what is taking place in the session. I don't know who is inside. And she's like, "Why did you come late?" And I looked around and I'm like, it was raining. You know? So she was like, "What if it rains for the next 1 month?" Technically meaning, are you going to keep coming late?
Late,
In my head, I was like, I'm going to buy an umbrella, but I didn't say that out loud. but I just kept quiet. I just kept quiet and looked, and it was like a 30 seconds gaze without saying a word. This is like, introduce yourself. Then I'm like, I'm ALIONZI LAWRENCE, electrical engineering, because it was for the whole department, electrical and computer. So I go and sit down. But what is even more funny is my friend who comes in. Now, for him, when he comes in, I'll not mention his name. He doesn't like this story, but I like it. So he comes in. For him, she doesn't say a word. She just puts there the microphone. Are you getting it? Imagine you come for your first orientation. You're first there, like in a university kind of gathering. They just put the microphone on you, like,
speak.
Like, so he didn't know what to say. He also had a 30 minutes gaze. So he thought wise that he should introduce himself. So he introduced himself, he gave his name. The lady kept quiet, the microphone was still there. He gave his former school, unnecessary details of how he gave the number of points he got in A level. He gave the combination that he did. He told us where he came from, and the whole room at that point was laughing. And I'm telling you, I laughed at him like I just didn't have my own moment a few seconds before. So I can't get that up. I feel like that for me, that was the most interesting and probably my worst moment within the university altogether in one.
So let's go back to you running for presidency and for guild presidency at Makerere. So how do you jump onto this? Where do you get the ambition?
True.
Let's take it back at the chairmanship.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So I ran for speaker at the hall, and honestly, I believe God knows in heaven that I did my very best, and people who in that hall genuinely can't tell that I did my very best, and I know that even when my time is over, I will be remembered as one who did well. When he was given the mandate to serve as a speaker.
Very true.
So the term of office gets done, I decide to run for chairman. And for me, I think solely because of my previous term of office, that was now in year 3 now. So I decided to run for chairman. I declared to run for chairman. And actually, when I declared to run for chairman, I was not even around. I not reported. So I declared from Maru. I was doing a West Nile tour. I had an endeavor with a few of my friends. I was moving all the 13 districts of West Nile. So by the time people were reporting, I was caught up at the end of River Nile in Adjumani district. So the vehicle we had used had broken down, so we were delayed for some time. So I reported after a week. So I declared that I'll run for chairman when I was still the other side. But I think because of the term of office, many colleagues who had interest and honestly were capable of doing some good work in office were like, there's no reason to compete. Because these are colleagues who had actually served before we. Let's allow this one, Dangote to be the chairman. So I was unopposed. So I am enjoying this comfort zone of being unopposed, people already calling me chairman. And I am thinking of now which one should be the chairman's chambers going next. You're getting it? So I've always affiliated myself to National Unity Platform,
Yeah.
and of course I have been in my own zone on the political scene, learning all the time.
Yeah.
For me, it's always about learning.
Mm.
So I am in this chairman race. I am moving around and doing my things and stuff like that. NUP is almost going to primary elections, so we have we have all these candidates. We are struggling to see who are we going to pick up to be our flag bearer. I saw there's Bossa Price in the race, there's MCM in the race, there's Kenneth in the race. Then NUP called for General Assembly, and right until now, I still think it's very unfair that the university went ahead to suspend these colleagues because of organizing a General Assembly, which ideally they actually did not organize themselves. It was the chapter that organized it. They simply attended as
flag bearer.
Yes, I mean people don't know this, but I was actually on Bossa's team that went with him to Freedom Square that day. So I consumed some of the tear gas that day.
And you survived narrow.
I survived narrow, like I always do. So I go. So these candidates are suspended unfairly, but the party must participate. So they call for fresh nominations. And then many colleagues reach out to me, and whereas I have always been desirous of running for guild president and offering myself as an option to the Makererians to decide, my calculations, my clouded sense of judgment was telling me that I can't manage the process because of, especially in terms of the financial burden that it comes with. I was like, a person like me, even if I pulled all strings, financially I wouldn't pull this race off. However capable I was, you're getting it. So I decided to bury this dream for a later time. So but even when I was the chairman race, especially the day I launched the banner, many people were like, look at that guild presidential candidate in a chairman's race. Because I think the energy was too much. Because every small thing I do like this, I put my very best. So you can be like, you're overdoing. I get that comment often. You're overdoing it. So I must overdo it. Overing. So these colleagues reached out, and the peak was the last day of nominations. To pick nominations for guild presidents was a Wednesday. So some colleagues are now the calls keep increasing. Why don't you pick nomination? Why don't you run? Why don't you subject yourself to this process? We think you stand a chance and stuff like that. So on that morning, my friends reach out and they're like, we think you should pick the form. We shall see how far we can go. We end this together and stuff like that. Even though I know there are some roads that process that you walk alone. So those are the only moments ringing in my mind. So I tell them I have a paper in the afternoon. So I don't have time to collect signatures and stuff like that. We're supposed to collect 100 signatures and pay 250,000. And honestly, embarrassingly, I didn't have that money. I didn't have even up to 100,000 at that point on that Wednesday. Or that whole week maybe even. So I lied to them that I have a paper. So I ran to Chikoni. I have a couple of friends there. I didn't tell them why I'm there. So we just be talking where I switch off my phone. So they look for me in vain. But they help to go ahead and pick a nomination form for me.
So they get for you the nomination form?
They get the 100
They get
the 100 signatures.
Wow.
They fill it.
They pay the 250.
They pay the 250,000 to the bank. So they just contact me in the last minutes to sign on the form. And then I'm like, if these colleagues can go this far for me, maybe there's something I'm not seeing. And therefore their efforts can't go to waste. So I sign on the form, and we in the very last minutes take the form to the EC. And so that night was one of the worst nights. I felt very lonely. I felt like the world didn't understand me. I felt like I was in a cocoon of my own.
Very small.
And I was going through all this mental torment. How is it going to be? So many people are sending WhatsApp messages. We have had rumors. News moves very fast in Makerere. That you in the race. Why? You had a bird at hand. Why are you going for two in the bush? And stuff like that. But then I go into the primaries of NUP, hottest elections of my entire life, hotter than the guild elections themselves, that I win by a difference of 2 votes only. College elections, then we go into the guild elections. The creativity of the team gives us the song and stuff like that, and that is what you saw.
Wow. So we are going in for a very short commercial break. We shall be definitely back with the very, very last segment of the Judge Show. Keep it on.
So it's still the Judge Show. Welcome. We are with Dangote, Yeah. So many people have questions, especially girls in Makere, they have questions and they have hopes. So someone may ask, do you not have a girlfriend, a crush, anything of this sort?
A girlfriend? No. Girlfriend? No.
You have a partner?
No partner. No partner.
Wife?
No wife.
Ex?
No. No ex. No ex. No ex. Yeah, and I'm not crush. But my career has very beautiful ladies. I acknowledge. Yeah, but I think nobody to the extent I said this is a
Don't you think that if you say you don't have any crush, you're disappointing your female counterparts?
No, I don't think actually I think I'm giving them hope that
Chance.
you could now be the one since there's nobody at the time yet.
In the case I have my sister and I want to bring her close to me, is it possible?
It's possible a lot of people are close to me, but you see, I believe we don't plan. I don't think things like a relationship or love stuff. I don't think you plan that. I want to be in love with this person. If love exists, in the next people describe it, then it should just happen. So I am waiting. You can bring your sister in case I like her. We can see what to do.
Because of the beauty of Bativa restaurant, we decided to navigate and explore each and every spot, and trust me, it has been on point. We want to thank the executive manager and the management at Hall. We please request you to come. Please come and have good time here. It is a very, very beautiful place, as you've seen, where we have had our different segments. So we have come to our very final segment, and our final segment, we have some questions. It is either yes or no. Yes or no without thinking. First one, lights on, lights off.
I'm supposed to say yes or no?
Yes or no, yeah. Lights on, lights off.
Yes.
Okay. On or off?
Lights on.
Okay. Short, long.
Whatever that means.
Short, long.
Long.
Hey. Public love, private love.
Very private love.
Ah! Would you date a fresher or not?
Yes.
Why?
No, I feel like dating should be you date someone you love.
But qualities have to come.
No, indeed.
Yeah.
And a fresher can be that beautiful, or you can fall in love with the fresher.
Yes.
That is, if we think love is there in the nature we describe it.
Yeah.
Then it's supposed to be fall in love with the fresher.
Yeah.
And she's a good enough. Besides, some people are good from the onset.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too many words spelled abroad. Thank you so very much for being part of the show. This is the judge show for shakers and movers. And thank you so very much, ALIONZI LAWRENCE Dangote, for honoring our invitation and coming up here. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you like. Make sure that you share. To God be the glory. Probably he has a word to say.
Parting shot.
Yeah, just three things.
Yeah.
One, I wish to add on to yours to thank Bativa
Yeah.
restaurant.
Yeah.
It has been a wonderful experience having the judge show.
Yeah.
The second thing is what I tipped on the beginning, that I found the shakers and movers. They didn't find me.
Okay.
I wrote my sister some time back, a few days ago. The shakers and movers, a group of extremely talented and distinguished young men and women. The women are not disappointed.
Yeah.
From Makere University's Film and Drama School. And for me, it was that I saw a group of people who were honest, who were enjoying what they were doing. And they were doing it so well and effortless that I was compelled to reach out to them. I think I reached out to JJ.
Yeah.
So these guys are amazing. I think these guys have something huge they could make out of this. So if you're watching right now and you like any bit of this, please go to the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and wait for more videos. Probably I'll come again, who knows? and then maybe lastly to the Makererians, the times are uncertain. You're most welcome for this new academic year, but let's keep the light burning. It's almost like we've lost the battle, but just as we're falling as a people, we then should rise as a people. And I believe, provided that is the case, we can rise again. And thank you for having me. It was an honor and very exclusive for me to be on the
We are
Shakers and
humbled.
Movers.
We are humbled.
Yes.
Okay, that's it for today. Wait for the next segment of the Judge Show. Bye-bye.